Welcome to a story about a man, a real man, a man who lived 500 years ago and changed the shape of our country as we know it today. A fierce, brave man, a ginger man, a man who owned a codpiece. This is the story of Henry Tudor.
O King Ferdinand of Spain, how pleased I am that my beloved son and heir to the throne of England is now married to your beautiful daughter Catherine. May their marriage be a sign of the unfettered bonds that tie together our two countries.
See, and may I say on behalf of the Spanish people, how we hope it is a bond that will never be broken, and that one day in the future your people can line the many sun lounges of the regions of Alejante and Benidorm.
Agreed. Long live the Anglo-Spanish.
Hooray! Oh, Arthur, I'm so lucky to have fallen in love with the man I was contractually obliged to marry since the age of 3. It all worked out so well.
I too am thrilled by the outcome, especially as you seem to have developed into a right little cracker. Don't you agree, Henry?
Well, of course. A finer rump our lands have never seen.
Oh, you...
Yes, it truly seems nothing can ruin this perfect moment in our decadent and wealthy existence.
Well, he's dead. Damn it.
Oh, my beautiful husband. Whatever will become of me now? And what of the union between our two glorious nations?
Drama queen.
But what of the union between the two nations? King Henry VII and King Ferdinand put their heads together and came up with a new plan to unite the two countries.
Well, Henry, as my oldest son and now heir to the throne of England, it has become your responsibility to uphold the wishes of the people, and in marrying your dead brother's wife, you'll be doing just that.
I beg your what? You want me to marry the widowed Catherine? But isn't that... weird?
Well, not as weird as you having a full beard at the age of only 12. Besides, we're Tudors. That's just how we roll.
But...
there's only one but in your life now, Henry, and it belongs to that hot Spanish chica.
And so, at the tender age of 12, Henry was betrothed to Catherine. But soon after, the Anglo-Spanish relations began to decline, as Henry and Ferdinand grew weary of each other's stupidity. The young Henry rejected Catherine as soon as he legally could.
Happy birthday to you!
Thank you. Thank you all so much. And to my darling Catherine of Aragon, my betrothed, I would like to finally and legally say, get the hell out of my sight.
Aww.
And so Catherine found herself without a home, until her loving family made her the ambassador to England, allowing her to stay in the country indefinitely.
Oh, great.
But it wasn't long before the king fell ill and died, possibly of sweating.
Ew!
And the young Henry Tudor became...
King Henry VIII of England, and all the other bits that they own.
Hooray!
And, as my first act, I will honour my father's wishes and marry my queen, that Spanish girl with the fine bottom.
What?
Come on, baby, let's go make me some heirs.
But, try as they might, Catherine could not provide the king with a baby that could make it past the first few weeks.
What is wrong with her?
Until one day...
Good news, Your Highness. We have delivered a perfectly healthy, perfectly formed, perfect baby.
I don't like how many times you said the word perfect then.
No, perfectly perfect. There is one tiny imperfection in the overall scheme of hereditary mechanics.
A girl? She was meant to give me a boy. A girl is as much use as... as...
A chocolate fire guard?
Chocolate? What the hell is chocolate? Quick, I am fatigued. Someone bring me a sweetened cup of hot brown liquid.
Your Highness?
Holy orders! Look at the hips on her! You there, wench, what is your name?
Oh, my name is Anne Boleyn, but my friends call me Family Annie. I put the kin into king.
Yowie, wowie, wait right there. The thing is, oh dear wife of mine, as marvellous as our daughter Mary is, and she is a lot of fun, particularly with all the crying and screaming, and the smells. Gotta love those smells. But I was really looking for something more in the boy department, so I'm going to give you one last chance, and if you can't push out a living baby boy, I'm afraid we will have to part ways.
Have you ever thought the problem is not with me, and with,
No. Now push.
But I'm not even pregnant.
Push! Very well.
Henry met with his counsellors to discuss a way of ridding himself of his marriage to Catherine and remarrying Anne, in an attempt to have a baby boy to take the throne after him.
How about Henry Fitzroy? Isn't he your son?
How am I supposed to know? Paternity tests haven't been invented yet, and if his mother did it with me, imagine who else she's done it with.
Well, your daughter, Mary. Let's marry her off and she can have a baby boy, and then he can be the heir.
That's a wonderful plan, except she's 2.
Couldn't you just go and see the Pope and ask for an annulment of your marriage to Catherine? I'm sure he'd be okay with it. He's cool like that.
On what grounds? There must be something in the Bible that says it's impure to marry your brother's wife, surely.
Have you ever actually read the Bible?
Well, of course not. It's in Latin.
Yes, I was worried you'd say that. Give me a minute. I found it! Here in Leviticus chapter 20. If a man marries his brother's wife, it is an act of impurity. He has violated the intimacy that belongs to his brother, and they will be childless.
Perfect. And that explains why I'm completely childless.
I'm a-taking Mary out for a stroll in the gardens. 'Tis a lovely day for it, is it not?
Yes, whatever.
So there you go. Take that to Rome, and he can't say no to an annulment.
And so Henry set about his journey to visit the Pope in his home in Rome. His journey was long and treacherous and took many days, but eventually he arrived at the Vatican.
Hello, welcome to the Vatican. Would you like to buy a little map, Iken?
I am Henry, the King of England. I wish to see Pope Clement VII.
Oh, okay. I will let him know you are here, Your Highness. Your Holiness! There is a richer man with a bigger horse come a long way to see you.
Send him up. I'm making toast.
He will see you now. Top of the stairs and take a right. A third door on your left. If you see the triptych of the Temptation of St. Anthony, you have gone too far.
Thank you.
And please enjoy your stay at the Vatican. And hopefully you will come back again. Oh, I'm too funny.
Henry explained his intentions to the Pope, but the Pope was not accommodating to the idea of annulment at all.
A what? Are you crazy? You can't get divorced from your wife. You married her in the eyes of the big G. Oh, he'll be mad. He'll be furious. Hey, you want another cup of coffee?
No, thank you. But, as I said, the marriage shall be null and void. It is in direct contravention of Leviticus chapter 20, verse 21. You have read the Bible, haven't you?
Yeah, sure, don't worry about it. Look, Henry, you're a good kid. I like you, but there ain't nothing I can do for you here. You married the chick in the eyes of the law, and that's the way it's gotta stay. You hear me?
I see. So, you're not willing to help me in the Catholic Church? Then I shall renounce my faith.
What?
That's right. I shall abolish Catholicism and set up my own faith.
You're talking crazy. Shoot it by your face.
I shall call it the Church of England, and it will be run by me because I'm brilliant.
Ah, but you will not sound like the good Lord himself, like I was.
Pish. I'm as devout as you, and I don't have to wear a dress to prove it.
Hey, these are robes, come on!
And my masses will be in English, so that the people can understand them. And no more of this weird cannibalist stuff either.
That's transubstantiation, man. Come on, you're a breaking my heart.
And I will strip all of the churches of their wealth and power and spend all of the money on cake and biscuits and things I like.
Are you crazy?
Good day to you, Pope Clement VII. Send my regards to Jesus.
And with that, Henry rode back to England to start a new chapter in the religious history of Britain, a delicate balance of Catholicism and Protestantism with a sprinkling of Lutheranism. The Church of England.
You did what?
Relax, it's fine. Those Catholics have too much money anyway.
And how exactly are you going to rid all the churches in the country of their riches and standing?
Send in Randy Orton.
Randy Orton! What a Randy Orton with an RKO out of nowhere!
Who are you?
It's Anne Boleyn, but my friends call me Anne Other Woman because I'm in and you're out.
What?
Face it, honey, your time is through. England's got a new scene and I'm the new scene queen.
Well, we'll have to wait and see what my husband says about that.
So, in short, our marriage is null and void and you are no longer my wife. You are a widow dowager which has a nice ring to it. Oh, by the way, can I have my nice ring back?
And with the simple conversion of the whole country's religious institution, Henry has found himself a new wife, 15 years younger than the last one, conveniently.
And by the power vested in me by him just now, I pronounce you King and Queen.
Hooray! So, Daddy, what does that make me?
Well, according to this document, you're now, officially, a bastard.
Oh, thanks.
Not only that, but a bastard I don't really want to see ever again. Goodbye, Mary. Every time I see the privies being emptied by the Privy Council, I will think of you.
But...
Now, my glorious wife, let us go and make some babies.
It wasn't long before Anne gave birth to a beautiful baby, which was perfectly perfect in every way.
Perfect?
Yes, perfectly perfect in nearly every way.
It's a girl, isn't it?
Yes.
I am proud to announce my wife, Queen Anne, has given birth to a baby girl who I shall name after my own mother, Elizabeth, and whom I shall look after as though she was my own.
Your Majesty, she is your own.
Oh, crap.
Perhaps, Your Majesty, a national celebration is in order. A joust, maybe.
Only if I get to win.
Of course, Your Majesty.
Then we shall celebrate the birth of this baby with that most traditional gift for a newborn. Let the jousting commence. Ow! Not yet. I'm not ready.
All the fighting men of the palace, including Henry, chose their finest steeds and took part in the tournament. Little did Henry know, however, that his ex-wife Catherine was gravely ill.
Oh, how gravely ill I am. I am surely close to death.
Nonsense. You have many a year left in you yet, milady.
A message for the King? King Henry? Anyone seen King Henry? Come on, I've got to be in Portsmouth for 3:30.
I am Henry. What news do you bring?
Widow Dowager Queen Catherine of Aragon has on this day entered immortality.
Oh, really? I quite liked her.
Well, she's dead now.
How tragic. We must organise her funeral with haste. And salmon sandwiches.
Here, watch your back.
Ah, my royal appendage!
Oh, and by the way, your wife, she's had a miscarriage. Not your day, really, is it?
Oh, my pain knows no bounds. I weep for my lost child as I weep for my king. Oh, how is he, by the way?
He's had a nasty cut on his leg, but he'll live.
Where is he?
Oh, he's organising a funeral for his ex-wife.
Say what?
And organise he did, all through the night, and on the news that his son was lost, Henry decided he must find a way to rid himself of Anne in much the same way he did of Catherine.
She insults me with her opinions, and her failure to provide me with a son only applies salt into the abrasion.
How is your abrasion, by the way?
Salty. And sore.
Couldn't we say she's a skank? A low-down skank?
Do we have any evidence?
Well, no. But she could be a witch, too.
Do we have evidence of that?
No, but the lack of evidence on two accounts makes for a stronger case in my eyes. And the eyes of God, obviously.
Very well. Then she will be tried for witchcraft and hussary. Aggravated hussary.
Who are you?
I'm Jane Seymour, your new roommate.
Roommate?
Well, for now. By the way, the king was looking for you. Something about hussary.
I'll be right back. Stay out of my pants drawers.
But Anne would not be right back, and she would never see her pants drawer again, as she was tried for witchcraftery and aggravated skankery, and was sentenced to death by being fired out of a cannon into a wall.
And in the event that the king's wife did not fit into the cannon, she will be beheaded till dead.
I imagine just the once would do it.
I'm sorry, Anne, but you left me no choice.
I did nothing wrong, my king.
All you gave to me was one more bastard to add to my collection.
Thanks again for that.
Have you any last words, Anne Boleyn?
Yes. Does anybody want anything from the spa?
Nice try, but I'm not falling for that again. Off with her leg.
Head.
Off with her head. Hooray! Right, we've got a wedding to organise.
Meanwhile, in Rome...
He did what? Oh, mamma mia.
And by the power vested in me, again I pronounce you King and Queen.
I'm the happiest woman in the whole of Western Europe.
I'm about to make you a whole lot happier. You ever done it with a ginger man before?
I've never done it with any man before, so I have no frame of reference.
Good enough, let's roll.
And it wasn't long before Jane was with child.
I have done it. I have impregnated my wife.
Hooray! Come on, me love. You really going to have to give it a good old push now?
I'm trying. I am. What's wrong?
It's coming out sideways, so you'll have to widen your chute.
What?
Congratulations, Your Majesty! You have a baby boy!
A boy? I don't believe it. An actual, living boy. My beautiful Jane. I knew she was the one for me.
Yes, it only took you 3 attempts.
Shut up, you. Bring him to me.
Daddy, can I hold the baby?
Oh, sweetheart, of course not. It's not for bastards. You're going to go and live with your half-sister. She's a bastard too. You can be bastards together.
Thanks.
To all my loyal subjects, I hereby declare that I am happier now than I have ever been. I have my Edward and my beautiful, flawless wife, Jane, and nothing, and I mean nothing, can bring us down. Rejoice! Rejoice!
Message for King Henry.
That's me.
It's from your wife's nurse. Dear King Henry, apologies for the delay, we couldn't find the inkpot. Anyway, Jane Seymour, your wife, has died. Sorry, lots of love. The ladies. 3 kisses.
No. My Jane is dead? No. However will I be able to go on? Whatever will I do?
Henry mourned for literally hours before his council approached him about a lady they had heard about who lived in Germany, Anne of Cleves.
We've heard she's a scorcher, Your Majesty.
Yes, and she really wouldn't harm your reputation at all.
And it would bring us closer together with the Germans. They can be rather handy in a war, especially against, I don't know, France?
France, eh? And she's beautiful, you promise?
Oh, the fittest.
She's like Helen of Troy and Cleopatra smooshed together.
I shall need to see her portrait first. You there, Hans Holbein the Younger. Go to Germany and paint a portrait for me of Anne of Cleves.
Okay.
And so he did. Holbein painted her in such a way that she looked like the most beautiful German on earth. When Henry saw her picture, he was most pleased.
Ah, yes, I'm most pleased. Stick her on the next flotilla and we'll organise the wedding in the meantime.
However, when Henry met Anne in person, he was less inclined.
You're not quite the same as in your pictures.
What do you mean, honey?
Is it too late to...
By the power vested in me many times, I now pronounce you King and Queen.
Hooray! Come with me. I have big plans for you.
Wouldn't you rather have 2 manor houses and a huge pile of cash?
Whatever works for you, baby.
Ooh, right. Quickly, annul that marriage.
Meanwhile in Rome...
Ay. This is some crazy stuff right here.
Any more bright ideas?
How about,
The problem is, Your Highness, there are very few women left that you haven't already married.
Who's she? In the garden?
What? Well, that's Catherine Howard of the Howards.
She's pretty.
Well, she does have a bit of a reputation.
For what? Look, I haven't got time for this. I have wars to start and minds to change. Just tell the girl she's to marry me.
And so it was that... Well, you guessed it.
By the power vested in me, blah, 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 whatever.
Hooray! You will make me a happy man, I'm sure.
She's made everybody else happy. Why shouldn't you have a go?
I beg your pardon?
Well, you know what you killed Anne Boleyn for? She's like the Ultra HD Pro version of that. Super skank.
Is this true?
Yes! And for crimes against the king, and for super skankery, you, Catherine Howard, are sentenced to be beheaded until dead.
But I haven't had any lines yet.
Hooray!
As Henry entered his autumn years, he longed for 3 things. He wished for a final love to see his days out with. He prayed for the wound in his leg to heal. And he wanted, more than anything, to eat his own body weight in glazed ham on a daily basis. Sadly, his wound remained as manky as ever, but hams were delivered regularly. As for women...
Your Highness, I have considered your motions on the reformation of the English ecclesiastical system, and I, for one, am in favour. I am only a mere woman, but I would be honoured if you would consider my opinion, should you wish to discuss it more.
Consider it I shall. And who the hell are you?
I am Catherine Parr, of the Parr family. We had a string of top 40 hits in the 1490s.
I remember them well. How would you like to be my new wife?
Having seen the checkered history of your previous wives, I fear there would be no advantage to me accepting this proposal.
If you refuse, I'll cut your head off.
Then we must celebrate our engagement.
For the 6th and final time, I pronounce you King and Queen.
Hooray!
I love you, Catherine, more than I loved any of my other wives. Except Jane. And at times Anne Boleyn was all right. And despite being a whore, that 5th one was pretty hot. What was her name?
I too am in love with you, relatively speaking. We will live out our long and happy lives together for many years to... Oh.
And with that, Henry died of gammy leg disease and gluttony. Catherine went on to bring the 2 little bastards back into the royal household, and Edward became King Edward VI. Then Edward died, then Jane Grey, and eventually Mary the Bastard was debastardised and became the first proper Queen of England, until she died. Then her younger sister Elizabeth became Queen, and still rules to this very day.